Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Isani Caetano.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Isani Caetano. Good morning.
And good morning, Isani.
Good morning, Sab. Good morning.
How you doing?
Strange to have you here with me on a Monday morning, but
I know. Just
I'm
say your
doing fine.
hits in my face.
No, never that. Man, I'm doing good.
That's
Yourself?
good. Feeling rested?
I can't say feeling rested. I'll just say I'm doing well.
Well, same here. I'm also doing well. I know that it was quite an eventful weekend for a lot of folks, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But before we do that, let's quickly go into our show lineup, what you guys can expect today in terms of conversations, starting off with understanding the future of security in Belize, unraveling legacies at the Caribbean Studies Forum. Hello. All right, we are getting some technical difficulties. We're going to jump into that really quickly in just a moment. All right.
All right, so let's talk about the NFL and the Super Bowl.
Because it does connect. It does connect.
Yes.
As you mentioned, we will be speaking to Nia in just a moment. She was the young female waving the Belizean flag. Now, if you were tuned in last night, I know there are a lot of people hoping to watch it for Bad Bunny and to get some of their favorite songs or to hear some of their favorite songs. I know sometimes we also have the headliner bringing out other guest performers as well. And so people were looking forward to seeing who those people might be.
We saw Lady Gaga and
We
Ricky
saw
Martin.
Lady Gaga. And now we're going to get to that back really quickly. Let's go to Nia. Nia, good morning. Hi, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right,
good
wonderful.
morning.
Good morning, Nia. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's jump into the experience of being on the world stage at halftime yesterday, and you made us proud by waving the Belizean flag in the middle of Bad Bunny's performance. What was that like?
It was an it was such an amazing moment. Because I did feel like Belize is an amazing country that everybody needs to know of. And being right in front and center was very important to me. So I said, I'm gonna be right here in front. And it was a great feeling seeing the flags and knowing that my flag was in there.
Nia, tell us a little bit about how you got this opportunity. I mean, I think a lot of people tuning in at home here in Belize, they were very shocked to see our flag being waved. How did you get this opportunity to do this?
Well, usually it goes through an audition process. You have an agency, a talent agency, and they send you to auditions. And through the audition, I was able to become a part of this amazing performance. And it was a long process, a lot of hard work, a lot of long nights, but it was so worth it, 100%.
What did you understand the significance of these flags being waved or being a part of this performance to be?
Well, you know, when I originally got assigned to do the flag, I am half Guatemalan as well.
Okay.
So that was amazing to see. And I had grabbed that flag and then I was like, you know, I want to also represent Belize at the same time.
Yeah.
And, you know, my grandmother, she's instilled the culture in me. She's instilled everything. Despite growing up in the States, she made sure that I knew my culture.
Yeah.
And I wanted to pay my respects to her and be thankful that she didn't let me forget that or didn't let me stray away from who I am and let me know that that is still a part of me as well. Yeah. And it's amazing to see all of the love and all of the support. And I'm just so grateful and thankful to all of you guys.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about yourself, Nia.
Okay. Well, I am 18. Freshly graduated high school. So this is a very big deal for me. I've been dancing, I would say, for around 5 years now.
It's okay. Now, I imagine this is a huge deal to be able to, you know, showcase your heritage and also be a part of a platform like this so big, one of the U.S.'s largest performing stage, which is the halftime show. You know, a lot of people, they might want to know, did you get to meet Bad Bunny? What was that experience like as well?
Well, yes, we were able to interact with him, although we didn't have time for one-on-one conversations, but he was very amazing to work with, very humble, you know, very, very thorough with his work and the message that he wanted to portray with his performance to include everybody. This is for all Latin America, everybody. And he's amazing in every single way, shape, and form. He always made sure to acknowledge everybody there. We had so many people on the floor and so many people working to put on this show, and he acknowledged every single one of us, and I will always appreciate that.
Were you nervous at any point, either leading up to the performance or, you know, during the performance itself?
100%, because I felt that, especially with the representation that I was trying to bring, I wanted to make sure that I nailed that. I wanted to make sure that I nailed my performance. I was nervous, but I think, you know, I'm very religious, so I prayed before. And after I prayed, I didn't feel anything but happiness, which I'm so grateful for. So once I prayed, the nerves went away.
What's next for you?
Yeah.
I would say what's next? Definitely going to Belize. I would love to come down there. I told myself when I go, I have to go with my grandmother. She's my rock. She's my world. She's my everything. I love her to pieces. And I have her to thank for everything as well. Her, my mother, my father, and everybody else that made me who I am today. I would definitely say Belize is definitely my next stop. And I would love to do any kind of show next going forward. This is only the beginning, and I'm so grateful.
Well, Nia, thank you so much for joining us virtually. I can imagine you're still reeling from the adrenaline of last night's performance. We so appreciate what your representation meant on that stage, and we hope to hear you being a part of other presentations and performances like this in the future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me. This is amazing.
Do you have any social media pages that we can follow your journey on?
Yes, my Instagram is Naya, NYAH_Davis, DAVIS, and that is where I will be posting all updates, all anything if you guys would like to follow.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be following your journey. Thank you so much for joining us, Naya, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes.
That's insane.
Back to the game though.
Yes.
Right? So, I didn't have a dog in the fight, I'll be honest, right? And I was out primarily to see what the halftime would have been like, considering the fact that this was the first Super Bowl performance in all Spanish.
Yeah.
And so there were a lot of questions surrounding this whole thing, right? And I think walking away from it, me being a huge Jay-Z fan, right? He had his finger on the pulse by getting Bad Bunny to do that performance yesterday. Now,
Did you know any Bad Bunny songs before?
I was just going to get to that part, right? So admittedly, I don't really know much Spanish, right?
Yeah.
But
You
I could
rattle off
appreciate, I could appreciate good music.
Okay.
And so listening to the songs being performed and the political statements being made, I think that can't escape us, right?
Yeah.
The fact that Naya was one of several performers who were waving flags for Central American and Latin American countries, right? In the context of the whole ICE crackdown in the United States. I think that political statement spoke volumes without overtly saying, what others are saying about ICE. I'll leave that there. Simply to say though, that when you saw all of these dancers and they bring out this whole Puerto Rican culture, right? The cane fields, right? The barbershop.
Yeah.
All of those things are what you would consider, part of Puerto Rican heritage or culture or what have you. And I don't need to know the lyrics of the song or the language itself. You have to be able to appreciate
I
that.
agree with you. I do too. I know absolutely no Bad Bunny song, but I could appreciate good music too. And for me, I always look forward to the Super Bowl halftime show now, because I think it's more than just musical entertainment.
Yeah.
It has really evolved into almost statements. We saw that in last year's Kendrick Lamar performance. We saw that in many others before, but I was definitely looking forward to Bad Bunny's because I almost felt this heavy feeling around what his performance would mean because of all the tragedy surrounding the ICE raids. I believe he had won a Grammy this year as well.
Yeah, last week
and
actually.
People couldn't help but notice the fact that he was seemingly wearing like a bulletproof vest under his suit. And if you look very closely with his attire last night as well, it almost looked like he had some type of protection underneath as well. People are commenting on that. So I think there's this kind of heavy feeling surrounding what the protection he would need in order to make statements like this, because of how many people have been taken out of the country, being harmed, being killed even by these raids.
Yeah. So this is what we've been experiencing over the past week is a historic first for two things, right? He's the first Latin American artist to win Album of the Year at the Grammys. That was last week. He's the first Latin American or Hispanic artist to perform at the Super Bowl in all Spanish. That's also a historic first, right? And just an interesting tidbit for people who are watching who may be wondering, man, he must get paid millions of dollars to perform.
You don't get paid to perform. Yeah.
Right? But being on that platform, that's rarefied air for any artist,
Yeah.
People aspire to that. So when you get that opportunity, it's not about the dollars and cents. It's about, being able to put your music out there to the rest of the world who may not know who you are. So in this case, if a lot of people never know who that Bad Bunny know, they know that.
No, they know. I know they. I mean, so many people were trying to search his lyrics before his performance to try to learn some of his songs. I not even try. Like I already accepted defeat. But I want to quickly talk about some of the other performers that were there. As you mentioned, we saw Ricky Martin perform.
Lady Gaga as well.
He did a very short snippet of something. I kind of got a little bit of the translation of what he was saying. Something about taking back their land and not having it be like Hawaii, which I think also speaks to imperialism and some of the dark histories that we know associated with the United States as well. We also saw Lady Gaga perform "Die with a Smile," I believe, and that was beautiful. The Latin version. This, as you are seeing on screen, there was actually the display of a wedding, and apparently. I saw online that was a real wedding. I don't know how true it is. It looked real to me.
I thought I was part of the performance.
I don't know. That would have been so cool though if you could actually say that you got married on.
In the same way, I think that Bad Bunny giving his Grammy award to the child, I think that's all part of the performance.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, we've had this conversation before. I think the last year was probably me and you the day after the Super Bowl performance as well, halftime show. And you really loved the Kendrick Lamar one. But what's your favorite of all time?
Well, my personal favorite Super Bowl halftime show of all times, I would say the one with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige. That one.
That was it for you?
When you look at other performances afterwards, others have been higher rated, so to speak. But my personal one is that one, because I rap head first and foremost, right? But last year's Kendrick Lamar performance was also amazing.
Yeah.
Simply because a lot of people were waiting to see if he would have performed Not Like Us on the stage amidst the lawsuits and everything with Drake, right? But that's last year's news. This year's one, I think, notwithstanding the fact that many of us may not be familiar with the songs or the lyrics, again, just leading on the cultural impact of it, that spoke volumes.
Yeah, right? I want to quickly put this in because I see a lot of people talking online, Belizeans at least. We saw our flag. There's a lot of pride associated with that. But some people are a little bit bummed out that Bad Bunny didn't call Belize's name. You know, thoughts on that?
Well, so I got into a little bit of a back and forth with a good friend of mine last night about it, right? Man never have to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing says that he had to, have a performer out there waving the Belizean flag. But he did. And I'm happy with that. Man, I have to say for the name or whatever. The flag speaks volumes. The flag is all we need, right? And that's the moment right there.
I agree, and we saw our flag at the front.
Yes,
so that's the most important part. You never they hide behind nobody else's flag. Look at that there. Belize's flag is front and center, or front and on the right side, but we'll take it. But thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show? Were you locked in and looking forward to what last night's presentation would have been? Do you think it's one of the best that we have seen? What were some of the messages that you really got from that performance? As we mentioned, we know that there was really a political statement behind that performance, aside from the entertainment, and perhaps that's a new trend or a new trajectory that we will come to expect from the halftime show as well. And so what were your thoughts on that? We definitely want to hear your thoughts. Well, Isani, we do want to move things along, and we have some other topics that we can jump into. Really quickly, I just want to highlight, just because it was one of the country that was named in the line of countries in Central America or in North America, Cuba. There's a lot currently taking place in Cuba. We also highlighted that last week. We spoke about the fact that they only had a certain amount of oil in reserve left, and what that would mean if Cuba would be without oil, how many lives, or not how many lives, but how it would impact the economy. Well, we can now share that Cuba has been without oil for several hours, or they have been experiencing several blackouts for several hours as a result of not having oil, or oil being cut from the United States. What does this mean, Isani, for a country that needs this type of production?
Well, it goes back to what I was saying last week. So for the benefit of our viewers, those who may not know, there's an embargo in place, right? Where the United States has imposed quite a number of sanctions on Cuba as part of this embargo. And you would know that there are a lot of countries that are allies of Cuba, Belize included. So Venezuela was one of those countries that, because of the embargo, provided or supplied, should I say, oil to Cuba. Now, when the United States went into Venezuela and captured Nicolas Maduro, it was over oil as well, right? And so immediately, the United States sought to cut off this supply of oil to Cuba, right? And this is the effect of it. Now, one of the developments coming out of this entire situation is the fact that Mexico has stepped up to see how it can help.
To provide.
Yes, to help Cuba. And I'm hoping that there's a concerted effort among other countries that are allies of Cuba to step in and help as well. Because, as you mentioned, not having oil can really cripple your economy. When you look at energy, you look at manufacturing, you look at many other industries that are reliant on oil, right? And to not have it means it's like you're stepping backwards into the dark ages, if I could describe it as such.
And dark ages being literal, because they are currently out of power. We know that we have a large diaspora of Belizeans, or a large number of Belizeans living there, whether for, living there just on their own or for studies. And so this is very, very important that we highlight this. And it seems to be just a really dark time, just all around the world, Isani. I think of Mexico now providing aid to Cuba, and just many other countries who have been allies of Cuba, and what that could potentially mean for them if it even puts a target on their backs as well. Seeing Mexico step up, could that potentially mean that there will be a target on Mexico's back from the United States next? I don't know.
Well, that's an interesting question. That remains to be seen.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have to wrap things up and close off this portion of the conversation. At this time, we move now into our Eye on the Weather to get that official update from the folks at the National Meteorological Service. All right. Well, at this time, we will be moving things along, Isani, and we will go to our first break. And when we come back, our next conversation is understanding the future of security in Belize.
In the heart of the Kaya district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda Parts. Don't forget your P-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquit Equipment Parts Service.
GBM is turning the spotlight home. All Belizean, all day, every day. We're bringing to you more local and regional programs than ever before. Relive the classics you love. Plus, enjoy brand new stories that celebrates who we are, our people, our pride, our Belize. So whether you're at home, in the office, or on the go, keep GBM on. Because now more than ever, Belize is on TV.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Alright, on the one fun day on, the window open and the light may turn off. It looks like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug, but keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed, you don't look like you're so hard, eh?
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter, they call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it for TV for BL, how do you know?
Yes man, it don't reach the money by to change it right now, let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
we're upgrading meters across Belize, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
But you don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in at your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Presentamos BB Insurance, hecho para Belize. Tu seguridad, nuestra prioridad.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
And welcome back. Our first conversation this morning is with my good friend, Rear Admiral Elton Bennett. He's no longer in Coast Guard, but he's wearing a new jacket and a new role he's playing as the CEO of Home Affairs. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Good
Bennett.
morning, Hassan. Good morning, and good morning, Belize.
There's so much for us to talk about with this new post that you've taken up. I want to begin by first asking about the transition, because you've been a career officer, and to move from doing what you've been doing for the past 29 years to working out of an office and overseeing a ministry along with the assigned minister is a completely different turn of events. Let's start there.
It's different indeed, but a lot of the work itself remains the same in terms of security. Citizen security, national security, they're all related. But in terms of the job specification itself, it is a little bit different. For 29 years, I wore a uniform and executed duties from the perspective of a military officer, which is very pointed, which is very straightforward, which is very
specific.
It's very specific as compared to the job that I now have, which is a broad field of administration, policy, and strategy. It's not different in its core, but the execution is very different. For example, my ministry that I now have in Belmopan is made up of all civilians. So whilst we have departments that are uniform, the police service, the ministry and those who are surrounded with are all civilians, and that relationship at work is very different.
Now, I can't imagine what this experience must be like. I remember last year having a sit down with you and talking about your role as commandant and what that has been like, having many other people under you, speaking to females as well. We were looking at Ms. Pinello as well. How has the transition felt for you as a person? I mean, you spoke about the outfit change from uniform to suit and tie, but how are you adjusting as a person aside from just military?
To be honest, I think I was reaching the point where I was being prepared mentally, not only by myself, but by the environment and spiritually as well, that I was sort of anticipating change in my career. I commanded the Coast Guard for 6 years. At that point, you would have been looking forward to moving on or moving out. In the media, for example, your time in command is 4 years. I commanded for 6 years. And so I was at that point where I was being mentally prepared to go on to something else. What that something else would have been, only the powers that be would have been able to predict that. So the change itself was welcome when it was presented to myself, and I realized, okay, this is it. And so I was mentally prepared to take on a new challenge.
Was this a no-brainer decision for you though? Because there was a lot of, I'd say, heavier stories coming out of the ministry as well. Last year was a tough year for the ministry. Was it an easy decision to make to switch gears and go into this one?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we all saw the difficulties that the Ministry of Home Affairs and particularly those activities involving the police was all over the media. And so to say yes to a job like this really required someone in the mindset prepared to take on this task. And I was prepared. Without a doubt, I said yes. I knew that I would have been able to make a difference. I knew that I would have been able to make an impact. and I was definitely ready for the challenge.
Let's step back for a second here. My question, what do you do with all the experience and the wealth of knowledge given the transition from life as a military officer to now being a CEO? Are you perhaps part of the National Security Council? Or
Yes.
what do you do with all the
Yes,
training and all the knowledge?
So I still remain as a part of the National Security Council, a position that I've held or been a part of for quite a few years. But as relates to the knowledge, I'm very qualified for this assignment. My last course of study in the United Kingdom prepares you for assignment like this. My last course of study was not a military course. This was to teach you how government works. And a lot of the exercises and a lot of the curriculum was focused on the higher level of government. So for 1 year, I was studying and preparing for this assignment. In the military, you're always prepared for one level up. Whenever you do training, you're being prepared for an assignment one level up. So I did that, and then I came back home and did some practical application at the operational level, and now I transition onto it. So it was really, I was prepared for it.
Now you're looking at a job that sees you dealing with civilians and citizen security as the primary mandate, right? How do you plan to tackle Belize City? Because I know Belize City could be very, very tough in terms of crime and violence and trying to keep a lid on those kinds of illegal activities.
Yeah, Belize City is a challenge indeed. So I've been researching and reading and engaging with a lot of the history and theory about violence in Belize City. No, I was not absent for the past 20, 29 years. I was always working at the tactical and operational level with the police. So I've seen the challenges in Belize City. So when I look at the programs that currently exist, for example, the Leadership Intervention Unit, I think in concept is a very well thought out program. I think there are certain adjustments that need to be made with the design of it for it to be effective. I do recognize that it's a lot more than home affairs that needs to be effective and to be there in order for that program to be successful. So I like the all of government concept that went into the formation of the LIU, where you have sports, you have youths, you have human development, you have employment opportunities for at-risk youths and marginalized youths. So I think there's a good model there that I find very easy to work with, and I'm able to look at areas where we need to improve on our efficiency. If I were to be doing an efficiency audit of the LIU as we're going along, that's what we're doing in order to tighten up areas for us to be more effective. So the LIU is one thing that I believe is a good framework to address the situation in Belize City, and I think it's been working well.
All right, go ahead.
I wanted to add to this very same question that Isani had asked earlier about Belize City being an area of focus. Do you believe that there are different strategies that should be incorporated for different areas of the country or different districts, for example, when we look at crime situations?
Yeah, absolutely. The minister and myself were talking about expanding this model to different parts of the country, the same leadership intervention, but focusing on the younger youths, focusing on those between the ages of 11 to 15 that are still young enough that can be molded in order for us not to have to focus on the hard security measures. So there are certain areas where the hard enforcement is the only way that you can get through. And there are some sectors of society and different parts of the country where intervention is key. So just to use the police strategy today, this is really a three-pronged approach into Belize City where it's mediation, intervention, and then law enforcement. We believe that if we can do more mediation and intervention at the earlier stage, then there will be less hard enforcement. So that's where the emphasis is now going to shift. And we've already started to reorganize our program here in Belize City and looking across the country where we're going to be focusing on interventions, trying to get more sporting activities, life skills programs for our at-risk youths and those who rely heavily on society in order for them to be successful. So we find ourselves in a unique place where there are things such as parenting, that are crucial for society to be successful and for crime rates to be reduced. But how do you apply that as a part of our ministry's mandate? And that's where we rely heavily on those other ministries and those other departments to bring those expertise along with us.
So you've moved on from one core responsibility in the Coast Guard to another as the CEO of Home Affairs. And for us in the media, we are brutal when it comes to numbers, right? So it's the challenge for you now to see how perhaps you could either minimize the numbers in terms of homicides and stuff, because at the end of the year, that's the report card that that we all look at, right? Well, how much crime was either averted, or how many arrests were made, how the department is, or the ministry is able to keep a lid on murders, for instance.
Yeah, so a good observation, and one that I've looked at with a different lens. Recently we had our comparative statistics annual conference. Comes at the one that the media was not happy about not being invited to the post interviews afterwards. We plan to make it up. It wasn't intentional or by design to keep you out. But when you look at the statistics there are some good things coming out there. Conviction rate, for example, at 77% is really good. Our response is very good. I think one of the shortcomings, though, is preventing crimes. So we need to improve on the strategic effort that would be designed to prevent crime, and that requires officer presence, and that's a hard thing to do. So if you were to judge the effectiveness of our ministry based on statistics and numbers, you may be off. I think you need to look at some of the qualitative as well, and not only the quantitative that looks at the data and statistics. There's a lot to be discussed with how people feel about security. What's your mindset about the police department, about the confidence level, things that cannot be shown on paper, but we know that we need to improve on. So it's much broader than just the statistics and data. Yes, the murder rate and major crimes is perhaps the easiest thing to grab and look at and to make the comparison. But there's a lot more that we are looking at in terms of improving the department, and those are the service-oriented part of policing.
And I think therein lies the challenge for you and, of course, the commissioner and the minister, really. How do we regain a sense of trust and confidence in the police department, where the average person, when you mention, okay, the police are going to get involved, everybody just get apprehensive and stand off, right? How do you work to build that back, to say, well, look, policemen and women come from some of the same communities, or from the very same communities that we all are a part of, and so we have to be able to treat with it in a manner that we respect their work and they respect us as civilians.
So building trust is a huge part of what we're consciously doing. The Commissioner of Police has, as a part of his strategy, a reformation of the police. And for us at the ministry, what we interpret this to be and what we want to focus on is leadership. A lot of leadership within the police department, getting formal professional courses that would qualify a person not only to be an operational commander, but to have those senior officers go through a series of professional training, not only academic, but focus on leadership. And that is what will make a difference. So we've already started a discussion with our partners. Our minister had the opportunity to engage with President Ali from Guyana, and we looked at professional commission courses for the police department, leadership courses, and a full career track that would bring them in from entry at officer cadet level and all the way up to senior staff and so forth, similar to what we have experienced in the military that works. So we want to focus a lot on leadership, and we think that will make a difference. You see, it's very difficult for the police to be received within society if you come with a lot of baggage. We need to fix our house. We need to ensure that the police is in a a very good standing with the community in order for us to be effective and received. So we recognize that, and we are well on the way with reforming the police department in that regard.
You know what just crossed my mind, Mr. Bennett? I immediately thought to myself after hearing that you would make the transition to Home Affairs, I wonder if you would bring a sense of firm discipline as a military man to the ministry, that we would get that less of what was already there with perhaps the sports and looking at families, and more of structure. We need that military presence.
Yes.
Did that ever cross your mind to give some of that as well?
Yeah, so the Prime Minister keeps reminding me every opportunity that he engages with me that he wants to see a change in a discipline and the formation of the police department, and we're working well on that. What I have to be conscious of, though, is not to overstep my bounds. I'm not the Commissioner of Police, and I am not the person immediately in charge of the police officers, but in a sense, where I sit has a good position as relates to applying pressure and applying discipline in between the Department and Services Commission. So I've been up and down that chain trying to make changes as relates to discipline.
Yeah.
What was and this is perhaps a bit personal, but it's okay. What was the feeling that your family had when you agreed to take on this job? New role and everything. How did they feel?
That's a good question. Well, my wife and I, we discussed more than with the kids, and so she was anticipating what would have been the next move.
Yeah.
So it came at no surprise to her. But also, what's a good thing is that I'm 10 minutes away from work.
Okay.
For all my working life, I was out of Belmopan, traveling to either Belize City or to Ladeville.
So I'm at home.
So from that perspective, it is a good one. The kids can't figure it out. They're age 20 and 15, but for them, they kind of grew up knowing a military dad, and so they are uncertain about the transition and what my.
I think as a child growing up, then, right, you seeing a parent put on a uniform for all of his or her professional life, and then you switch from, uniform to formal wear, if that's the case.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of getting used to.
So for them, it's a strange thing, but it's working out.
What are some of the immediate changes that the country can expect coming from your role as CEO, your input as CEO?
Discipline, of course. Expect to see a improvement of discipline within the department. We have already had our fingers on some of the very important disciplinary cases. I've engaged with the Commissioner of Police and asked some of the hard questions as related to status of some cases. But those aren't cases that would be able to show out there in the public. But we can make an effort to say, okay, this is what we're doing internally. Okay, a police officer is dismissed or charged. I guess we need to find a way to put it out there, because I think the country is expecting to see what we're doing or what I am doing in terms of improving discipline. So that's one. And then the other one is working along with the minister to improve the special branch service. It has been a sort of a dormant branch, a very key component to the effectiveness of security in this country, and we are planning to revamp. We've already started the process to revamp the special branch in terms of giving it some of the resources it needs to perform its duties. So intelligence gathering is one area that we're heavily focusing on. And let me touch on one more, not as exciting, but the management of resources, vehicles, equipment is something that falls within the purview of the CEO. So I come with a sense of appreciation of limited resources, and so there's a lot of emphasis that I'm placing on managing our vehicle fleet, managing our equipment better. So you should see an improvement there as well.
That's interesting because, at least from where we sit as members of the media, every so often there's a donation of vehicles and stuff, right? The U.S. Embassy provides, or whomsoever. But it's almost as if though when you get a vehicle 3 months ago and then 3 months later you done in a garage or done broke up or whatsoever, and yes, you tell me there's a lot of wear and tear in terms of patrols and stuff, but some of the officers not really,
I agree. I haven't bought into the belief that these assets are designed for 2 to 3 years. So we must get a lot more out of it. These are government resources, and I think there's a lot more care that can go into it. But if we can shift gears a little bit, the National Forensic Services, for example, is a very very effective part of what we do at the Ministry of Home Affairs.
And that's all civilians too.
Yeah, all civilians. Very dedicated bunch of personnel, highly qualified and very well equipped that I found. Their contribution to the crime fighting strategies is crucial. They're able to track weapons and shells from crime scenes and pin it to individuals. So that's a big part of what you see in terms of the high conviction rate of 77% conviction rate. And you would have noticed over the past few months, maybe 2 months, where we've had a series of murders, police has been able to arrest and charge for almost, I think, about 90% of those. They've been very effective.
I was impressed with the speed with which the police department was able to make arrests in the double murder for the Sarita delivery men, make arrests for the murder of Mark Gabriel in Belmopan as well. Usually people skeptical, right? Things happen and we figure, well, they don't make no arrest for that one, but that was impressive.
And one in Mango Creek as well.
Yes,
those are very, very quick.
As well,
so I was rather impressed with the level of investigation capabilities within the police department, and I saw it firsthand. And the country can see those very quick results of us being able to quickly and accurately make those arrests and charges.
I'll give you another example. The arrest of the police officer last week for the murder that occurred in Ladyville. The information that came out is that, well, we did a ballistic test on the weapon and I can't run away from that.
Yeah, so again, that's where the science comes in to support our policing efforts. And if you look at the mission of the vision of the ministry, there's a lot of emphasis placed on using science and technology in the execution of our duties. So surveillance cameras around have been very, very effective. And again, the good works from the National Forensic Services has made some very good contributions to that.
You spoke earlier about human resources being one of the challenges as well. In terms of fighting crime, there's not enough police presence. Can we expect that number to grow under your leadership as well?
There are plans to continue to increase. The attrition rate, I think, is somewhere between 4 and 7% of police officers leaving by natural attrition. People retire out or people will move on to other duties. So in order for us to just maintain the numbers, we'll have to be recruiting at the very minimum 100 per year. So yes, there are plans to continue to improve and continue to increase the numbers. But we also want to utilize technology in enforcement, and that has been working well. So even though we may not be able to increase the numbers to the point of where we want to, we'd be adding the technologies that would be effective in our enforcement efforts.
All right. Well, as we wind down this conversation,
we're winding down already.
We are, just like that, right? When you're having fun. We spoke about some of the next steps that we can expect, but I just want to ask from you personally, what do you want to be remembered for in your role here in this ministry?
Just another public officer, and the same thing that I had when I left the Coast Guard. I just want to be remembered as someone who came in and did his utmost best for the service of the country. That's it, as simple as that. Just someone who made a contribution, a genuine worker. Nothing more than that, just a worker in a public service.
So the Coast Guard mantra or slogan is Utrinque Paratos, right?
All right.
How do you, see, I remember the thing, right? How do you carry that forward even though you're no longer, just the message and everything that embodies, seeing as though you're no longer a part of the Coast Guard, but it's something that carries forward?
Yeah, there's a lot that was instilled in me from the Coast Guard that becomes a part of my life. Our core values, courage, commitment, respect, and I always add integrity onto it. And of course, our motto of being ready for anything has definitely shaped the way how I do business, both on and off the job. So it's impossible to take out those Coast Guard core values from this individual and place him anywhere else and not get the same person. So that's who I am now.
Well, you did tell us that you, for the rest of your life, will be known as Rear Admiral as well. So
all right.
That's a part of it, I guess. It's within you. It's instilled within you. Before we take our next break, I want to engage really quickly our motivational quote with you this morning.
Sure.
It's taken from Helen Keller, and it goes like this: optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, now we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. Our next conversation is Unraveling Legacies at the Caribbean Studies Forum.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Me. My idea about and I really need to get my ad out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that works?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Borders in Central America, searching for the stories behind the places we think we know. I'm Sabrina Daly, traveling as a Belizean, curious about the culture, the people, and the experiences that make each destination stand out. From the spirited landscapes of Honduras to the evolving heartbeat of El Salvador.
Go pupusas!
This journey explores what it really feels like to travel our region. This is Across Borders.
In the heart of the Kayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
To Open Your Eyes. This is our second conversation, and as we mentioned before the break, it's all about unraveling legacies at the Caribbean Studies Forum. Joining us to guide in that conversation is Dr. Christopher Deshiel. He is a CFS, and that stands for Caribbean Studies Forum Committee member, and he's also a part of the FEA faculty, which is the
Federal Education and Arts.
Federal Education and Arts. And also with us is Miss Erin Guzman. She's also a part of the CSF committee member and FEA faculty. Thank you so much for joining us, guys, and welcome.
Thank
you for having us. Now, I understand that the Caribbean Studies Forum or conference has been around for some time, but there was a brief hiatus during COVID-19, and now we're back on the saddle, and we are inviting people to have this in-person experience. For persons who might not be familiar with the forum, though, can we get a brief overview of what the CSF is?
Sure. So the Caribbean Studies Forum started in the late 90s to early 2000s, and it was birthed out of East Carolina University, of which I'm a proud alumni. Go Pirates.
All right.
And so the two founders are Dr. Gay Willens and Dr. Ciudadaldina. And so that's where the forum was birthed. It focused a lot on Caribbean literature, research, history, and travel. And then East Carolina University sort of has a reputation for capturing a lot of University of Belize students.
Okay.
And that's a part of why I was there. And so at one point, a lot of Belizeans studied there, and there became sort of this collaboration with Belizeans and CSF. And then eventually, the University of Belize and East Carolina University had some sort of agreement and partnership, and I think that's where Chris stepped in.
Yeah, I had I joined the chairship, I suppose, of the conference in its first iteration at UB. So when UB sort of inherited this to have a international conference, and it moved from the US, a US-based forum, to a Belize-based one that attracted some international presenters, and it was wonderful to share research at University of Belize and attract other researchers around the world to present on Caribbean-themed topics, basically.
How important is this forum in the broader context of Belizeans and how we're affected by things that happen within the region?
Yeah, but these kinds of things are like, I don't know how you would call it, nutrition. It's something essential for academics, for scholars, for anybody interested in history, culture generally for the region, to have these kinds of venues and a forum, as the name suggests, to exchange ideas, to network, It's quite stimulating every time you go to one of these academic conferences, and they're so often abroad, so kind of prohibitive. You come back from those things just energized, ready to further your own research, get valuable critical feedback to projects that you are doing, and it's just sustaining for everyone involved.
I think of myself, though, who just tries to stay connected to the pulse of what's taking place across the world and connected to what have happened in the past. Is this a space for people who just want that sense of social awareness and understanding historical Caribbean context to what is taking place as well in real time?
Yes, actually, what you're saying hits the nail on the head with our theme for this year, which is Caribbean Past and Futures, Legacies, Rhythms, and Visions.
Nice.
So it is a sort of umbrella theme that has, categories or sub-themes, but ideally the reasoning behind why we chose that theme is to encapture the diverse nature of the Caribbean. Of course, honoring our past, what came before us, and then how our past influences this contemporary world that we are operating in. So,
what is interesting about this all is the duality of who we are as Belizeans, right? We're Central American and we're also Caribbean, and then we fit into this whole melting pot that's called the Caribbean, the CARICOM block and all of that stuff.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about that. How do we look at that duality in that particular context?
Yeah, the theme is so broad, and I think even the concept of the Caribbean is a kind of container that could accommodate all sorts of types of inquiry. So you get presentations on history, culture from the region, not only the area that people might consider, okay, this is some politically the Caribbean space, but you realize that Caribbean culture pervades all sorts of different spaces. And actually, if you think about where these conferences take place around the world, there's Caribbean Studies associations all around the place. I attended one in Australia at once, and I think, well, there are people from the Caribbean, but also people outside the Caribbean interested in the Caribbean in places all around the world. So, it's a locus that attracts all sorts of topics and themes there.
I was looking at some of the themes or some of the topics that will be covered. It says here that there will be conversations around anthropology, arts, economics, education, folk culture, geography, history, language, linguistics, literature, medicine, music, politics, psychology, religion, business, tourism, and sociology. Now, there are certain things here on this list that kind of feels like, you'd expect that, but I'm interested to talk about psychology. How does that have its place in this conversation? Psychology when it comes to Caribbean history.
Yeah, I think that the task of the conference organizers trying to place all of the diverse presentations into coherent, thematic categories is tough. But you inevitably find some connections. For the psychology, there's all sorts of approaches there. I feel like this conference does have something on kind of educational psychology.
Okay, got you.
Teaching in the Caribbean space. But yeah.
There's also a paper that fits under one of our subheadings of contesting systematic oppressions that focuses on that psychological aspect of oppression and how it affects us as Belizeans and also how it affects us as scholars as well.
Just thinkers in general, when we go back to colonization and how that has carried on in our minds and in our psyche of how we interact with people and how we think intrinsically, I think is something that also ties to psychology. There's also a mention here of folk culture. Can we touch on that too? I think that kind of speaks for itself, but there's an appreciation that everyone could have for folk culture.
We didn't mention that there's also some performances, some entertainment that touches into the topic of folk culture. With the UB Steel is going to be there, chorale. We have Gales Point Bram and Sambai.
Interesting.
And a marimba, Felix Cook marimba. So all of these things come into play. There's also some presentations specifically on poetry. And I think some of the people performing are also participating in the conference discussions and themes as well.
So will this be like presentations from like papers, or will there be opportunities for dialogue, for people to ask questions, to engage in conversations?
So it's a mixture. There are paper presentations, there's at least 2 panel discussions, and then at the end of each segment or each category, there's open Q&A for the people who have presented. And so the conference is from February 18th to February 20th, and it takes place between the UB Conference Center and the UB Jaguar Auditorium.
Do you have to pay to be a part of it? How can we join?
So presenters have a fee. Locally, professionals pay $60. Internationally, it's $120. But if you're attending, it's free.
Awesome.
Yes. So please come on out, come see us, be involved, participate, be a part of history. There's a segment of the conference that focuses on culture, creativity, and healing practices, and also another segment that talks about language, diversity, and linguistic justice. And so I feel like it'll be an opportunity for Belizeans to hear from Belizeans about our own history, about our own culture, about our languages, and I feel like that's not an opportunity that's presented often. I think we're kind of used to the idea of other people telling us about our country. Well, this is an opportunity for, your typical Belizean to tell you about your country.
Lovely.
Excellent.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It sounds like it's going to be a wonderful event. 2 days, the 18th to the 20th. And we wish you guys all the best.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely. All right, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. Our next conversation is Breaking Barriers, Davia Richardson's historic swim season.
Updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include cath lab, adult intensive care unit, neonatal intensive care unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquit Equipment Parts Service.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are jumping into our third conversation, and this one is virtual. We are joined by Davia Richardson. She's a Belizean swimmer making waves over in the United States.
Making a splash.
She's making a splash, as Isani said, and we're so happy to have her joining us via Zoom right now. Good morning, Davia.
Morning.
Good morning.
Happy to have you here with us. Now, for persons who might not be familiar with your journey, let's get a quick overview of who you are and what you do. What's your sport that you have been investing your life in?
Yeah, so since the age of 5, I've been swimming. So now almost 13 years. I started swimming at a very young age here in my town. I represent my school as well and my club in White Plains. And now I've had the great opportunity to represent Belize on the international stage.
What has that journey been like so far in terms of your preparation, getting your mind right where it comes to competing?
Preparation has definitely been a challenge. It's been a journey, but you know, the challenge is what makes the journey, and it makes everything so special, since every competition outside of the US is long course, and there's not many long course pools here in New York. It's been a bit of a struggle, but it's pushed me to even train harder in practices because I know what I'm capable of, and representing this country means so much to me and my family, and I just want to represent them.
Now, choosing to represent Belize is a very big deal for us here because I think this type of sport or discipline is not one that we oftentimes have Belizeans going on international stages and representing us for. Mm-hmm. You mentioned also living in the United States, but I want to know why you decided to choose to represent your Belizean heritage instead.
Well, my dad's side of the family is from Belize, everybody is. And my father did pass away 5 years ago, and wanting to represent him and his family was a really big decision for us. And it was honestly no brainer. A lot of people say that I remind them of my dad on my dad's side of the family, and hearing that makes me feel so excited and so happy to know that my dad had such a big impact on their lives and the same impact that I'm having on them. And wanting to represent Belize, it was the easiest decision ever. And I want to bring light to the country to show that there's so much talent here. And even in other sports as well. We have amazing athletes in other sports. So it's not just me as swimming, but also being the first person to represent them in swimming is such a big deal. And I want to show that it's a really good thing. It's a really big opportunity.
How do you balance sports and your academic life?
I've been doing that for a very long time now, so I've found a lot of loopholes into doing it. Time management is a really big thing. So now that I'm in my senior year of high school, I do have like some free periods that I can sit down and do my work before swim practice and just try and get as much done before I have late night practice and even morning practices sometimes in the week. And I can say it's been a struggle sometimes, but I'm always able to get it done, always able to keep my grades up, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell us about some of the competitions that you have participated in and how it has propelled you to be at this point that you are at right now.
Yeah, so the international competitions that I've been to, my first one was the World Short Course Championships in Budapest, Hungary, and following was the World Long Course Championships in Singapore over the summer. And the Budapest one was in December of 2024. That was my first time representing Belize for the country. And I can say it was a little nerve-wracking, seeing all these big-time athletes and big Olympians, at the time I was 16, 16-year-old being here is like, wow, this is like really huge. I want to do my best. And I did do my best. I did drop some time. I did set some national records, and I did win some heats as well in the Singapore World Championships. And that was a lot of fun. Eyes to a lot of lessons, a lot of opportunities, and to be able to share the stage with these big athletes has been a lot of fun. And I've met a lot of new friends from these countries too, and it makes me excited to look forward to these other international meets that I'll have with.
What's the future for you as a professional athlete? Do you envision, the furthest you can go as a swimmer? Perhaps Olympics or what have you?
So I am hopeful that I will be able to represent Belize in the Olympics for swimming for the very first time. As I stated before, I'm a senior in high school, and I have committed and signed to the University of Loyola, Maryland for swimming for the next 4 years. So I'm hopeful that my journey in college will help take me to the next level to even better my performance swimming in the international stage.
Now, what has the training to get to that point been like? I imagine taking on this journey since the age of 5 has been something that you've had to really commit to. What is a routine like for you? What's your day like, in the life of Davia Richardson?
Yeah, so when I was younger, when I chose the sport, my mom said, you can't quit it. You have to through. So that's what I've been doing, and it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. And my daily routine, looks like wake up, I go to school, unless it's a day where I have morning practice. Go to school, do as much as I can in school, do all of my work ahead of time, as much as I can, and get home, do some homework, and get ready to go to practice. I do have practices late at night, so then I do get home pretty late. So my goal is to just try and do as much work as possible, as I stated earlier, so I can get to bed on time and get to bed early, so then to possibly wake up again and do it all over again, unless there is morning practice or not. And it looks the same for weekends. I have morning practice both Saturday and Sunday, along with dry land sessions through the week and sometimes on the weekends.
So you're So you're representing Belize. Have you been to Belize? When was your last trip to this country?
I have been to Belize recently, and we are planning to come soon, I think in April during Easter break.
Nice.
And I haven't been in the country in a little while, but as I've been busy with swimming and school, it's kind of hard to match up the Belize holidays and the U.S. holidays sometimes. So my breaks aren't really the same, but I'm very excited to come home.
All right. Well, I'm excited to test your knowledge on some Creole, actually. We have a little bit of an activity that we try to do every single day, and it's called our cultural phrase of the day. Really, it's just a Creole proverb. And so I want to test your knowledge, Davia, really quick to see how much Creole you actually know. Do you know some Creole? You don't know any Creole.
I'm so sorry.
Well, let's see if you can maybe try to decode this anyway. Because I'm not going to lie, we have some people on the couch who also don't know Creole, and they do a pretty decent job. So let's see if you could figure out what this means. Now, our Creole proverb of the day is, God might not reach so-so, but he was sent. Again, I'll repeat that. This is a hard one, I actually think. God might not reach so-so, but he was sent. And that translates in English, God might not get here immediately, but he will send. What do you think that means?
I think that means, you know, the process isn't going to happen immediately, but that doesn't mean the process isn't happening.
I like that. I'll take it. And here's the thing, it's really open to interpretation. And so really there could be an expression or a proverb that means exactly this, but you can use it in other contexts as well. So this says the meaning is unexpected help or gifts come just when one needs it most. That's wonderful. Davia, thank you so much for joining us virtually. We really appreciate the time that you took, and we are rooting for you all the way here in Belize, girl. We wish you all the best, and we can't wait to continue following along this journey of yours.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
All righty. All right, well, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have a treat for you grazing board lovers. When we come back, it's all about love at first bite with I Love Grazing Boards.
Full-Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full-Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy Inc. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
All right, on the one fun day on, the window open and the light may turn off. It look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug where keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard, yes?
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter, they call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV from BL ad, you know.
Yes, man, it don't reach the money better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you are reach my area?
We're upgrading meters across Belize, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
You don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in at your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Presentamos BB Insurance, hecho para Belice. Tu seguridad, nuestra prioridad.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. This is our final conversation and quite the treat, actually. We are joined by Ellen Kumsal. She is the owner of I Love Grazing Boards, and I always love it when you are here, Ellen. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back.
Thank you for the invitation, guys.
Now, I imagine this is a busy time for you. It's a busy time of the year. It's
Valentine's
the month.
is right around.
It's a month of love, and a lot of people, they want to share out, give treats to people that they love and care about, including themselves, I will say. But tell us a bit about what you are usually up to during this time of the year. We know that you make your grazing boards, but much more than that, you have a different level of variety that I think a lot of people don't have.
Yes, for this Valentine today, we did something different, which was this box.
Okay.
2 boxes I have that I didn't have for the past years, right? The I Love You box and the best friend disposable.
Oh, I love that.
It's really, really cool. And what you can do with this is, you know, you have a vegan friend, vegetarian friend, you can always request for that.
Yeah.
You're the meat lover, the carnivore one. So, and it's really, really, really cute. This is one of
love the
my favorite
container.
boxes. Yes, the container is
nice.
awesome.
Yes.
And the I Love You box I am actually in love with this box.
I love it too.
What are you looking at?
With this right now, I don't have too much. So if you order, the best is to order, you know, in
As early as
advance.
possible.
Yes, as early as possible. Because when I'm sold out, I'm sold out.
Now, how popular are these types of treats? People would be purchasing this during the month of love, February?
You know, I started this business in 2020. And first it was only like, you know, Christmas and Valentine's, Mother's Day. But now it's birthdays just because the boss day, teachers day, for any little thing. So in a way, this is really growing. This is really a good business. I love grazing boards. This year, what we're doing again is the collaboration with Sangria Mia.
Yeah.
That must happen every year. Sorry, you don't mind?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
It's her big bottle of wine, and I don't know if the camera is getting it, but it's the box with a heart-shaped
Platter.
This is one of our packages, the yearly packages with Sangria Mia. And I think she mentioned that she was here last week, and she mentioned that we're having an event. The Wine Under the Stars.
Tell us a bit more about it.
The Wine Under the Stars is this Thursday. House of Culture, 5:30 to 10 o'clock. And I will be collaborating with her. We will have this size, but our main thing is, when these little pop-ups is not too much. So we're doing the little cups and we're doing the small glasses of wine.
Ellen, I could see that you get a lot of joy from the work that you do.
Yes, I
and
do.
you spoke about starting this business in 2021.
2020. Pandemic.
Peak pandemic period during a
Yes.
time when there are a lot of other people pivoting and becoming entrepreneurs as
Yes.
well. What has this journey been like for you? It's been 5, almost 6 years.
I just feel like I'm growing and growing. I'm learning more. There's always something different about these cheese boards. You might think it's just to throw some cheeses on top, but there's a texture in the cheese, the meats, even the fruits, the challenges of here in Belize especially, that we can get something right now and then next 2 months you're looking for it like crazy.
You can't find it again.
You can't find it again. So as a small business, small entrepreneur, you have to really restock your stuff. And sometimes the space we don't have. I have at home right now 3 refrigerators, 1 freezer. And it's just growing. It's just, thank you very much, to the Graziers.
Describe for us the breakfast.
Okay, what I have for today is this breakfast, the breakfast board, which comes with eggs, something, different than only meats and cheeses.
Yeah.
It has a portion of fruits, it has eggs, it has sausages, the mini croissants, they're vegetarian.
Nice.
So it's up to you if you want to put sausage, okay?
Yeah.
I see some bits of waffles there too.
Yeah, and they're mini waffles.
Yeah.
Strawberry
Slices
waffles.
of orange.
Slices of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I love the dates. Dates are very healthy, guys.
Yes, they are.
Have your 2 dates a day.
Yeah.
Very
Good fiber.
healthy. Yes.
Now, how popular is this? Do you find that a lot of people go about purchasing breakfast boards as well?
No, the breakfast board is something I started this month. I haven't really promoted it yet.
All right.
I think on my page I only have 2 pictures, 2 orders already, corporate orders for breakfast, which are the mini ones.
Yeah.
But I don't sell it by one. It has to be minimum of 6.
6
Yes.
of these?
No, 6 of the mini ones.
Okay, gotcha.
No, this is now a tray. Yes,
Okay.
it's available.
Now, how can you go about deciding what goes inside the tray? Is it based on what you provide, or can I say, hey, Miss Ellen, can we throw in a little bit of this instead?
You can customize.
Okay, got you.
The only thing by customizing might change your price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes some people would ask for a manchego cheese, a prosciutto. Those things, that is what elevate your board.
Yeah.
Yes.
The cost of what you choose to what I have list, and I want to mention something. I don't want to pass this.
Go right ahead.
On Thursday, we're having the event with Niche and Madesco. And if you miss us on Thursday, you can get us on Friday. Get I Love Grazing board on Friday at Premium Wines and Spirit Deck. We're having a wine tasting, but we won't be selling boards.
Yeah.
What I will do something special that day, I want to set the table. So you will dine from the table, choose whatever you want.
Nice.
I love setting tables, really. It's
That
just
sounds like
different.
a task too, though, because the space is much larger. So
Yes.
to fit everything in a way.
Yes.
And for me, this is like
There's an art-
artistic.
there's an art to it, yeah.
It's artistic. How do you go about deciding the placement of each item? Is there a particular way that certain things should be? For example, like meat should be around certain.
Yes, I do have my little tricks,
Okay.
which I don't mind sharing.
Yeah.
If you notice my boards, you will never see a cheese next to a cheese.
Oh, okay.
Unless they're 2 different colors, right? You won't see the meat touching meats. So there's always gonna be a little fruit. And I know some people don't like the fruits, I have customers that they don't like fruits. But then the board looks kind of blunt and boring. Like
empty.
it's all meat and cheese.
And the fruits provide color to provide
and
for their
texture.
texture. Exactly. Now you said that you don't make cheese and cheese touch and meat touch. Is that for like just your own?
No, it's me, my little
Okay,
OC.
I was wondering if it's like
But no,
not healthy
but-
to do that.
No, it's something with colors.
Okay.
You don't. Most of the cheese, if you notice, they're clear, right? Few are some yellow or green, or the few cheeses.
But I think it looks better when it's compartmentalized too. When you have everything is in its own place, right? So
You
it
know,
doesn't look.
I'm just thinking, Isani, I think you would really appreciate this because you are a stickler for like
Yeah,
patterns
details
and
and stuff.
details in
Yeah.
that way, right?
So are you like me, a little OCD?
Yeah, they got the OCD.
Not OCD,
But that's
not
okay.
even OCD.
But tell us about some of your other items because we see the I Love You board, the Best Friends board, the breakfast tray, and then of course
This is our package with sangria. And
Yes.
also what you can do with this, let's say you don't want the, you want to do something different, you just change it in the box. Same box using a smaller portion.
So you can decide the different
You can
sizes.
decide, you can,
Oh,
and it becomes
beautiful.
like this, see?
So that could be a package as well?
That
you
could
can
be
get
a
something like
package,
that?
yes. That could be a package with the hard wine.
How much would
sangria
something
meal.
like this cost, Ellen?
They start from 150, but our package with sangria mia is 190.
Okay.
Including the big wine and a 10-inch grazing heart shape.
Okay. And how soon in advance would I have to order these
Well,
items? Because they take time to prepare.
Guys, I don't want to boast, but sometimes I get really busy. Like
Yeah.
I have to close dates. And I am me, myself, and I.
A one-woman
Yes.
A one-woman team.
And
yeah.
so I try to accommodate, but sometimes it's just I
So
can't
is-
take.
is
So
it
I
closed?
really would advise for you to book. Like
What's been the demand so far? Like Valentine's Day is this Saturday.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure that people
my
are
book
thinking
is
of ideas.
my book is I am already on this. I like it.
So Ellen is saying basically you have to beg at this point
No.
because
To get that spot.
she's booked and busy.
No, I still have space.
Okay.
But then sometimes I understand some people can't decide what yet to give.
That's true.
You know, you can say, okay, Ellen, I want it, and
Now, what I'm seeing here, though, Ellen, that there are, of course, different varieties, but could I go in and say, hey, I have a budget of around this. Could you make something for me based on my budget?
Yes, don't let the price scare you. I have some small cups.
Okay.
But the cups are like for $25. I have some mini trays for $30. Remember, all what elevates a board is what you ask me to put inside.
Yeah.
I know what I'm giving you for $30, you know. But if you said, Ellen, please make this a little bit
Throwing something else special
drop
in
me
there.
one manchego, one prosciutto, one chorizo español, or something different, you know.
Yeah.
That might change.
Now, I don't know what you're talking about when you said dropping a little prosecco, it just
And all depending on the wine.
It sounds
too.
sexy though.
Yeah, but what are we getting from these different types of cheese?
The texture.
Okay, so can we look at what we have here? Tell us about the different types of cheeses
This one is
and
goat.
how they taste.
This is goat cheese.
Okay, so
really.
how does that taste?
A little stronger than if you get it smoked Gouda. Well, smoked Gouda says the name. This is smoked.
Yeah. It's smoky.
The pepper jack.
Okay, I know
It's
pepper jack.
Pepper jack.
I know that.
This one is onion and chives.
Cheddar?
Yes, it's
Okay,
a
that's
cheddar,
cheddar.
onion and chives.
Okay, that
And
sounds
then we
good.
have the baby. So it's 4 different type of cheeses. The hardest cheeses would be, I don't have right here, Parmesan cheese. It's a little bit
I see a
harder.
softer cheese over there, though, like purple. Is that cheese? The purple?
Oh, that's the cranberry.
Oh.
Goat. Cranberry goat cheese.
Cranberry goat cheese.
Yes. Cream cheese, sorry.
Cranberry cream cheese.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Made out of the goat.
Oh, that's very fancy.
Yolanda, leave it to everything.
And how
on
about this one
table.
here? That looks like a
That's brie. Brie is very soft.
Okay.
It's a soft cheese.
Okay, and I imagine you have to know how to mix these types of cheeses because we're looking at texture, we're looking at color, we're looking at taste, and then of course what the customer
Yes.
might ask for as
And
well.
you know, some people are scared, like they refuse to taste the goat cheese for some reason.
Yeah, it's just a name.
But it's delicious.
bit too exotic
the
for me.
texture- No,
Why do you
have to
think they're
try
scared?
it. I don't know.
Is it
it's
something
the
that
goat.
is not
maybe
familiar with?
maybe they're not familiar, but then you need to try
Yeah.
it. You need to run the risk in a bite.
Yeah.
A bite says it all.
Now, other types of meats that we're getting as well. I see.
That's prosciutto.
Prosciutto is what this?
Yes, this is prosciutto.
Okay.
And this is the salami.
Salami.
And we have
some
sausages
pepperoni.
for the breakfast.
Yeah.
If you notice, for the breakfast, I didn't put no heavy meats. I use the
Some
lighter
smaller
sausages one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have signature fruits that you always add to your boards?
Yes, grapes, strawberry.
Grapes and
Those are,
strawberry.
and blueberries. Those are my 3
Okay. I also see
For
kiwi
the
here.
main, sometimes I don't put kiwi.
Okay.
Sometimes people don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these cute little color for the breakfast is just for the color.
I also see
I like the
dates there.
Yes, I love dates.
Dates and olives.
Dates
and then we have
olives is my thing, you know. I do sell containers of olives, marinated olive. I choose a selection. I have a selection of olives, which I marinated myself. I also do my hummus, and you know something I forgot.
You make your own hummus?
Yes.
How do you make that?
I make my own hummus. Well, I learned this little hummus from La Suegra.
Oh. Is that popular? A popular part of a board? A grazing board?
Yes. Mostly all my boards have.
Hummus in there.
It's my signature, as well as my marinated olives, as my toasted baguettes.
Yeah.
Toasted bagels. Those are all little things I would add, which it's too much to bring. But you know, always request it.
You could still find it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, we highlighted the fact that this is a busier time of the year for you, but outside of February, you're still very much open and available to get, purchases as well.
For weddings, to set a table. That is getting popular too right now.
Oh.
Okay.
These cheese tables,
weddings
grazing
and stuff?
tables,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. How can people reach out to you if they would like to purchase either of these that are on display, or even talk about having an event as well?
I
with your
have my
business?
my phone number. It's 626-1881. It's everywhere. I have my page, and I Love Grazing Boards, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
And what's next for I Love Grazing Boards? Do you have any future plans, maybe businesses that you're looking to collaborate with, events that you're hoping to be a part
I am open to
of?
collaborate with any business, really. I have no problem with that, which I don't... You remember the business I collaborated with last year? I would say last year, yes. It was good. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Move on. Let's collaborate with somebody else.
Yeah.
I like the partnership. I like the partnership with Sangria Mia as
That's every year.
Yeah.
Every
Nice,
year on
right?
Valentine's Day mostly. I can't remember if we do Mother's Day, but if, you know.
Really sure.
And anytime you would always call, you can call me any time of the year, and as well as Amira, call her and say, you know something, I know you're not collaborating this month, but can we both have, you know, we want your wine, your sangrias, and we want I Love Grazing Boards.
All right.
So of course, we're open to anything.
Well, this has been a wonderful chit chat, Ellen. We are always so excited having you here on set with us, and we know that somebody special or a few special people will be getting some grazing boards this Valentine's Day, and hopefully even after as well. Well, at this time, we are going to take a quick break. But before we do that, we want to get into our Eye on the Weather to get that scoop of what we can expect in terms of weather conditions from the folks at the National Meteorological Service. Alrighty, welcome back. This is our Eye on the Weather, brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. And today's forecast calls for sunny with cloudy spells and partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers or light rain will be isolated. In terms of temperatures, you can expect temps of 78 degrees Fahrenheit for highs along coastal areas, then dropping to lows of 67. Inland, though, will be getting a bit warmer for highs, going up to temperatures of 81 degrees Fahrenheit. But when they do drop low, inland areas, you will be dropping to lows of 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That's certainly quite chilly. In the hills, however, you will be experiencing much cooler temperatures, highs of 74 degrees Fahrenheit, then dropping to lows of 56. Now, this is where that sweater will be a must. Now, our extended forecast for Tuesday through to Friday. For inland and coastal areas, you can expect temperatures of 79 and 83 degrees Fahrenheit for highs, then dropping to lows of 70 and 58. Quite chilly. On Wednesday, 82 and 84 for highs, with lows of 72 and 66. For Thursday and Friday, highs of 81 and 83, dropping to lows of 72 and 66. And then on Friday, ushering in the weekend and that Valentine's Day warmth, highs of 81 and 83, However, dropping to a chilly 75 and 68 again for inland and coastal areas. The sun rose this morning at 6:22 a.m. and it's set to set at 5:51 p.m. The moon set will take place at 11:18 a.m. and tomorrow's moonrise will be at 12:51 a.m. The sea state is slight to light choppy with winds blowing from east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots. Today's low tide took place at 6:33 a.m. However, a high tide will take place at 12:22 a.m. and then another low tide will take place at 6:51 p.m. and then tomorrow another high tide at 12:41 a.m. And that does it for our Eye on the Weather, brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. At this time, we take our final break, and then we come back to wrap things up.
Man, that's me. My data done, and I really need to get my order out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Crossed borders in Central America, searching for the stories behind the places we think we know. I'm Sabrina Daly, traveling as a Belizean, curious about the culture, the people, and the experiences that make each destination stand out. From the spirited landscapes of Honduras to the evolving heartbeat of El Salvador.
Go pupusas!
This journey explores what it really feels like to travel our region. This is Across Borders.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are winding things down, and it has been a wonderful Monday morning with you guys, spending some time with Isani as well. Isani, I know that for the start of the week, we definitely have some top stories that we are jumping into today.
Yes.
And so while we spent the highlight of the morning for our things you should know discussion, highlighting what took place over the weekend in terms of entertainment, there are some top stories that we will be looking into, including some updates on stories that we have been covering as well. Can we get into that really quickly?
All right, so for today, we're covering 2 incidents, right? There was a double murder in the Toledo district in Punta Gorda, and there was also the murder of a young man in Dangriga on Friday. So we have teams in the southern part of the country taking those stories on today, as well as following up on what we've been covering for the past 2 or 3 weeks, which is the BTL SpeedNet saga.
Yeah.
On Friday, it was the headlines that the negotiations, the talks about this proposed acquisition have been placed on halt, put on pause, because the Prime Minister is asking for more information to be shared and more clarity on what this deal entails, right? And it's kind of interesting because perhaps this should have been the course of action from the very beginning.
For sure.
Right? So while we've been, reporting on this proposed deal, there really wasn't much information in the first instance,
Yes.
right? And so it kind of came off like, we hear rumors here and there, but we can't really put the finger upon it and say this is happening for real until it began, in earnest, so to speak. But even then, everybody's asking for more information.
And of course,
Chamber, union, everybody's asking, hey, tell us more.
And we saw that. We saw that on display with demonstrations taking place for the last 2 weeks. There was anticipation of the opposition side coming out and bringing their supporters, highlighting their discontent in what was the process so far. But that didn't take place. We understand that there was going to be a demonstration this week instead. However, what we still saw was an act of showing their discontent by the United Democratic Party not having their presence in the National Assembly.
They chose to boycott Friday's House meeting, and instead a statement was issued later on in the day, right?
Yeah.
And of course, they chose to lend their support to other developments that took place within the House. The OSH bill that came out on Friday, that was concluded. And so it's interesting because Friday, many of us believed or thought that the opposition would have mobilized its supporters to come out to Belmopan. But instead, they sat it out. We got PUP supporters who went to Belmopan instead.
Yeah, what did you think of that? I saw
watch out. It's my opinion, right?
Yes. I'll tell you mine on one of them.
I think that the PUP supporters weren't there because it's a good day to return back to the House. They were there to counter whatever the opposition would have done with their supporters. That's what I think happened.
Yeah.
But when you don't have no opposition there for quarrel with, so to speak, you have to turn it into something festive instead, right?
Isani, I saw an interview that was done with one of the supporters saying that she was there to support her minister. However, when she was asked whether she supported the acquisition, she said no. On camera. And my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah.
And that for me, we don't even have enough time to discuss something like that. I was so shocked.
Yeah.
But of course, we will be providing further updates on that when they do come about. As Isani mentioned, we have teams deployed in different areas across the country where crime took place over the weekend as well. So you can stay tuned to our News at Noon coverage as well as our 6 p.m. news. We do got to wrap things up, though, at this time. It is February 9th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@greaterbelize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook. That's Open Your Eyes BZ, as well as Instagram for behind-the-scenes contents. That's OIE Belize. You can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.